We did our project on the Irish food industry. We are group number 6 and we consist of Ciara Collins, Amy Corby, Jason Clinton, Jeffrey Chapman, Sean Coffey and Dennis Hackett. Pestle analysis. This stands for political, economic, social, technological, environmental and legal. This concept is used as a tool by companies to track the environment they're operating in or planning to touch a new project, product, service, or etc. Advantages of pestle analysis. It helps you avoid starting a business which is likely to fail for reasons beyond your control. It reveals the direction of change in your business environment. This helps you're doing so that can work with change. It helps you spot business opportunities and gives you advance warning on significant threats. It can help you develop an objective view when entering into a new market. P. Political. The IBEC group that represents the sector today published its submission to the Government 2020 strategy, consultation on the future development of the agricultural, forestry, fishing and food industries. It called on the government to deliver and implement a coherent and coordinated strategy with industry to put the food sector at the very heart of the Irish economy. The submission expressed concern at the lack of policy coordination across the range of departments that impact the sector. FDII said that this has often had a direct and adverse effect on companies operating in this sector, undermining their ability to grow and compete in high competitive international markets. Economic. The Teagasc for Management programme, including the Get Farm Fish Financially Fit campaign, aims to empower farmers to make good financial decisions on their farms, resulting in increased farm income and improved long-term viability. The technologies developed and supported by this government will help the farm business to operate at a high level of technical and financial efficiency. Social. With the world's population expected to grow by over 1 billion by 2030, demand for food sources will need to increase by 50% to cope with demand. Driven by a doubling of the world's middle class to over 3.2 billion by 2020, major Irish companies like the Kerry Group, Glanbia and Greencore are already preparing to meet this soaring need. Technological. With the technology we have today, the agri-food industry have the opportunity to sell various types of products at a reasonably low price. This has allowed them to increase the number of countries in which they sell their products to at a low price. They must also be able to deal with the technological issues in relation to the machines used in production and used for packaging and labelling. If not dealt with quickly, they are losing out on potential profit. The use of advertisement has increased sales for the agri-food industry and has made it more people aware of the products they are available for sale. Environment. The agri-food industry depends on many factors in order to produce their products to the highest standard. The climate could be a factor for the agri-food industry to consider, as they have to correct climate in order to grow and produce certain products. They also have to consider how much pollution they are creating with the production of their products, as its harmful effects on the environment as a whole. Legal. The agri-food industry, like all food industries, must show clearly all nutrition information on their products' packaging. Packaging must have labels clearly stating nutrition information, if there is any allergy causing ingredients, how many calories per serving, how many servings and size of servings. They must comply with all necessary regulations. For example, they must comply with the necessary regulations in relation to the production and marketing of agri-foods set out by the FDA. What are Porter's 5 Forces? Porter's 5 Forces module, named after Michael E. Porter, identifies and analyses the competitive forces that shape every industry and help determine an industry's weakness and strengths. These forces are threat of new entry, supplier power, buyer power, competitor rivalry, and threat of substitution. Threat of new entry. It's low. How likely is it for new companies to enter the industry? The cost of credit in Ireland remains above normal and is certainly higher than other EU countries. A high cost of capital leads to underinvestment and lack of support in productive ventures, as there is simply not enough money to fund them. This dearth of finance makes it very hard for new companies to enter the agri-food industry. Supplier power, which is low. How much the suppliers can charge for the company's inputs. Main suppliers in the agri-food industry are beef and dairy produced from farmers. Their bargaining power is low, since there will be a number of suppliers of these items in Ireland. A company in the agri-food industry can easily change substitute suppliers due to this advantage. Buyer power is also low. How likely buyers are to use just your company when purchasing goods or service in that specific industry. Buyer power is low in the agri-food industry, as although there are many companies in the industry, the number of potential customers is huge, as agri-food products are used by nearly every household in this country. Competitive rivalry is high, determines the intensity of competition in an industry. The main competitor is foreign supermarkets using foreign produce. Foreign agri-food companies and supermarkets in foreign countries may also be sold cheaper due to subsidies. For example, Kerrygold sold in English supermarkets is dearer than English equivalent. This is because the English government pay the English company a sum of money so that they can afford to reduce prices to make the product more attractive to consumers. This is done to promote homegrown products. Evaluation. The Irish agri-food industry employs 8.4% of the whole working population in Ireland, with €26 billion turnover in the sector in 2015. It is Ireland's largest indigenous industry. Ireland's export destinations include 40% to the UK market, 31% to the rest of the European Union, and the final 21% goes to international markets. With the majority of the agri-food within Ireland being exported, it accounts for 10.7% of the merchandise exports. The 2025 Agri-Food Strategy Committee aims to see Ireland as a world leader the next decade due to opportunities arising as a result of significant population growth and better access to international markets. Facts. 80% of dairy production in Ireland is exported. Ireland is also the largest net exporter of dairy ingredients, beef and lamb in the EU. It is also the largest exporter within the EU of powdered infant formula. Ireland is the UK's largest supplier of food and drink. The Irish food industry supplies the majority of Ireland's €14 billion domestic grocery and food service sector. Irish beef is internationally renowned, being listed in over 32 retail chains across Europe. The key takeaways. From our thorough analysis of the Irish agricultural food industry, we can conclude this section plays an extremely important role in the Irish economy, for the hundreds and thousands of jobs it creates directly and indirectly, to the billions of euro in revenue it generates to the Irish GDP and GNP respectively. The facts and figures show that the Irish agricultural food industry is a massive exporter internationally. However, it is crucial to take note that with previously discussed factors of political upheaval in the form of Brexit, it does not bode well for the immediate and long-term future of this industry. And this is just a list of the references what we took our information from. Thank you for listening.